Hi guys, let's talk about digital finance ecosystem. But before that, I have several stories for you. In the past, there are several gold shops in a city. So these gold shops were owned by a family. So one family had a lot of gold shops in the city. Of course, the family had information regarding the increasing or decreasing of gold price, so they can determine strategy for their gold shops. One day, there was one newcomer of gold shop coming to the town, but it was not owned by the family. This gold shop didn't have any information regarding the increasing or decreasing of the gold price. It caused them to get lost and this shop could not survive. In the past, information became a strength or competitive advantage for a shop. How about now? You can access Google, internet, or many other references to get information. Therefore, having information only is not enough as the competitive advantage of the company. What can you get from the story? Time change. The strategy in the past could not be used again in the future, since the climate is different. Moreover, with the advancement of the technology. The second story is about mineral water company. This mineral water company has also printing company. So this mineral water companies print all the printed materials from their own printing companies. They also plan to create a bottle company, so they can produce the bottle by themselves. So when they produce a cup of mineral water, the label comes from their own company, the bottle came from their bottle company, and also the water coming from their mineral water company. All is done by themselves. After several years, this company could not survive. Why? Because the cost of producing bottle, the cost of producing the label is higher than their competitors. The competitors do not produce everything by themselves. They directly purchase from the supplier and the cost is lower. From this story, we can learn that to compete, it doesn't mean that we have to do everything by ourselves. We can cooperate with the other party, so our company could be more efficient. One keyword here is collaboration. With many competitors right now, the business focus should change. It doesn't talk anymore about how to make the other competitors not survive, but how to collaborate to create the competitive advantage. Again, one keyword, collaboration. Talking about building collaboration is the same with building ecosystem. What is ecosystem? In biology, ecosystem is a community of group of living organisms that live in and interact with each other in a specific environment to form a bubble of life. So there is community here, there is interaction, they collaborate with each other, and there is the purpose to form a bubble of life. How about business ecosystem? It is the same. A network of different entities. It talks about community of a group that are dynamic and interact with each other, talking about interaction to create and exchange sustainable value. One more time, to create and exchange sustainable value, talking about the best purpose. This is the diagram of business ecosystem created by Wall Street Mojo. Yep, business ecosystem talking about economic community, so not a single company, and it is not coming from one industry, but it is the network of different kind of entities to produce the goods and services. So there are a lot of members in this ecosystem. There are supplier, producer, consumer, government, regulator, and even competitors. In addition, it can also exhibit competition and cooperation. Maybe most of you are wondering, the purpose of business ecosystem is to create and exchange sustainable value. How can competition can create and exchange the sustainable value? Having competitors, it will force the company to keep innovating because they don't want to lose with their competitors, right? Imagine there is only one digital payment service. There is no competitors. Even though this company doesn't create any innovation because you need this, you will keep using this, right? But you actually have several unsatisfied services. By having the competitors, it will create competition environment. It will force innovation to give better service for the customer. Is it clear, right? Let's learn business ecosystem from one interesting company, Netflix. It is the streaming service you can watch several movies from the Netflix. You don't need to go to cinema anymore, only signing up for the Netflix account and you can watch a lot of interesting movies. You can see here that Netflix has supplier. It is the content producer. Netflix also has several investors to grow their business. It is the funding sources for the business or Netflix to grow their business. Not only that, Netflix also has cooperation with the licensing and right management service. They also have cooperation with several administration and also technology service, so it is easier for us to do transaction in Netflix. The last one is the revenue sources. It is from the consumer. It could be personal consumer or business consumer. For example, the airlines. They want their passengers could watch film during the flight. They purchase the Netflix account. And Netflix also has cooperation with the Coop to give additional benefit for the consumers. One more thing, don't forget about this. Netflix also has competitors. The competitors will force Netflix to keep innovating for their customers. This is the example of Netflix business ecosystem. Imagine if Netflix do everything alone. How if there is no content producer? Of course, Netflix has to produce the film by themselves. It is costly. How if there is no competitors? Netflix will not keep innovating. It will be bad news for the consumer. How if there is no consumer? Netflix could not have any revenue. How if there is no administration service? Netflix will not be more efficient. It will increase the cost. How if there is no investors? It will be hard for the Netflix to fund their growth. How if there is no licensing service? Of course, there are a lot of people who might pirate the film. So right now, you can understand, right, the power of ecosystem. Since digital financial service is a business, the digital financial service also has its own ecosystem. These are the pyramid of components of digital finance ecosystem. The first one is policy, law, and also regulation. It consists of regulator, policy, and also standard bodies. The second one is infrastructure. It is about technology, financial, and also other. It can consist of the payment system, technology, investor, data networks, and the other things. The next one is the provider. It could be bank, it could be non-bank, or licensed financial institution. And the last one, of course, users. It could be the consumer, it could be the business, it could be government agency, or it could be non-profit groups. Now your turn. Try to find a digital financial service ecosystem that exists in your country.